So were you telling me that you were working with some other programmers at one time? It may have been in .NET, I can't remember, but they actively coded to ignore exceptions or swallow exceptions or whatnot?
Oh, sweet Lord, yes. That was a back when I was doing .NET. That was kind of a an SOP in the .NET community. There was a lot of just naked try excepts, and it's not to pick on .NET. I mean, that's a problem in almost any language that I've ever seen. Um, just naked try excepts or try catch or whatever the language structure is for that particular language, and that's really bad. Uh, because if I want to swallow an error, I want to know which errors I'm swallowing, so that if something weird pops up, I get records of it and I can trace it. But if I'm just doing naked exception tracking or swallowing, I lose that capability, and that's actually dangerous. So
Yeah,
yeah, I,
I can't fathom that at all.
yeah. So
Doing
even
that.
like in Ruby or Rails, I've seen a lot of you know um, exception catching on standard error, and that's just a bad idea because everything is a standard error, and if you catch them all, that's. I guess there are some exceptions to that case if you are like the top level exception, you've done a lot of specific exception catching throughout the thing, and you are going to always log that standard error out somewhere. But just catching it and throwing it away, never ever do that. Catch it and do something with it. But catching on a standard error or the top level error object, whatever that is for your language, is almost never a good idea.
Yeah, so back to what I just remembered some more specifics with regard to it. Like, for example, I have a process that continuously runs. It's like a Ruby daemon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want an exception to break that process necessarily.
Right.
So that's when I use essentially a catch. I try to catch any errors that happen, but then I either admit an exception or I send an email based upon, I communicate the fact that something
Right.
happened.
Yeah. You don't just swallow it
Yeah.
and
Right,
pretend
right,
that it
right.
never happened.
Well,
I didn't see
exactly. I
that.
don't exactly. I don't pretend that it didn't happen.
Right. And that's the dangerous bit. Um, but even then, I would hope that inside some of those processes, you've got specific protections for things that you expect could happen, or specific catches for specific types of errors to do. Hey, if I get this particular error, then do this instead.
If you like this clip and want to watch another one, you can click right here. Or if you want to watch the full video, you can click here.